Just decades ago, this island was a heavily polluted industrial wasteland. Today, we're exploring how Naoshima reinvented itself as one of Japan's most unique destinations.
Is it real teeth?
Yeah.
Real teeth?
And why on earth there are teeth embedded in this wall? If you're just joining us, so far we've made our way down the east coast through to Shikoku and today Naoshima on what is day 12 of our 2-month road trip.
岡山左。
Very important. Honshu or Shikoku? Left.
バイバイ四国。
バイバイ四国ね。
ああ、綺麗あっち。
Look at the bridge. So long. Sit-walkers. 多分あっちの方、直島ってどっかその中にある。
これって見えないみたいな、あんまり。
島いっぱいあります。So run from our parking spot over there. I think this is our ferry. It's got the name of Naoshima on it. Gotta get our tickets first. Bye bye car.
As the adrenaline from rushing to the ferry fades, the vibe changes. Even the ferry chairs are beautifully crafted from wood and is our first hint that design matters here. As the ferry pulls into dock, we instantly recognize Naoshima's iconic resident, Yayoi Kusama's giant red pumpkin. Walking through town, you can't help but notice that many of the buildings look charred. That's yakisugi, an age-old Japanese method of burning wood to protect it from fire and insects. It's one of the details that give Naoshima its unique character, blending the old traditions with contemporary architecture, like the Ando Museum by Tadao Ando. While many people contributed to Naoshima's transformation, few have left a bigger mark than Tadao Ando. Since the late 1980s, Ando has played a central role in shaping Naoshima's transformation from an industrial island into a world-famous art destination. Apart from being an evident lover of concrete, self-taught Ando is renowned for merging traditional Japanese aesthetic with modern geometry. Leaving the museum behind, we continue exploring the back streets of Naoshima. Around every corner, the island seems to have another surprise waiting. This time, it's not art or architecture. Oh, ご飯あるかも. So closed Saturday and Sundays, but you can get ramen. So you can buy ramen, tsukemen, saved by the jihanki.
確かにこれあるよ、ほら。
Oh, you get that famous chicken too. In the end, we were intrigued, we were curious, but we were just not hungry enough to try it. And so we kept on wandering the streets. In keeping with the theme of an island reinventing itself, one idea that the island had was to literally give the keys to abandoned houses and businesses to artists. And the results were...
Is it real teeth?
Yeah.
Real teeth?
So this used to be a dental clinic, now converted into an art house.
these are made from molds from boats, because the artist here is from a fishing island, so he has an affinity with boats, and so he wanted to integrate that into his art.
Oh.
While waiting for the shuttle bus, one song was playing on repeat, Oyaji no Umi. Written by local worker Sagi Tatsuo and later made famous by singer Muraki Kenkichi, the song tells a story of hard work, family, and life shaped by the sea. It's easy to see why it resonated with working class Japan in the 1970s. It's a fitting soundtrack for Naoshima. Before becoming a world-famous art destination, the island was known for something very different: heavy industry. For more than a century, its copper smelter played a vital role in Japan's industrial development. So how did the island transform itself? Well, it didn't begin with an artist or an architect. It actually began with the local mayor. In the 1980s, as the island's fortunes became increasingly uncertain, Mayor Chikatsugu Miyake imagined something different: a future built on culture, education, and the natural beauty of the Seto Inland Sea. Together with Benesse, a major education company, and architect Tadao Ando, that vision would reshape Naoshima forever. Now, before we get to the rest of the museum, my curiosity got the better of me, and there's something in the bus that I noticed that I want to share with you. Check that out. What is that?
An emergency brake on a bus. It's a first.
Alright, back to the museum. Despite being built underground to preserve the natural scenery, natural light is carefully directed into the museum, creating an experience that changes throughout the day and is unique to every visitor. One of the staff said this was their favourite artwork, and it's easy to see why. The constantly changing sky means the piece is never the same twice. At first, I thought an image was being projected above me. There was no screen and no projector, just the sky. This next one was trippy. With your shoes off, you step into this room and your depth perception completely disappears. The walls are just not there. There's no shadows, no corners, no lines. It's like stepping into a void where the room feels entirely infinite. We had one final stop before leaving. We discovered that the artist behind the dental clinic had managed to get his hands on another pair of keys. This time, the local bathhouse.
Now we're going to have a bath. The U.
Travelling through Japan, we've driven past abandoned houses, schools and factories. They're reminders that nothing lasts forever. But Naoshima left me feeling surprisingly optimistic. Instead of letting these places disappear, people here handed artists the keys and gave the island a chance to reinvent itself. And as we sailed away, I couldn't help but wonder, what else could we give artists the keys to? And this is where we're staying tonight. Our car's hiding somewhere in there. Got sidetracked by a Japanese luxury car. This is Century, built by Toyota. And it's what the Emperor gets driven in. Beautiful car. It's a 12-cylinder, by the way. Anyway, back to our car. Over here, our little 4-cylinder. We found our dinner place for tonight. It's a bento place that specializes in bentos. So usually better and fresher than the konbinis. So from where we're parking over there, there's literally like 3 public toilets within about 100 meters. One just here. There's 7-Eleven there. There's another public toilet just over there near the train station. And there's one just behind that building as well. So yeah, Japan's got like public toilets everywhere. So we've got our meal for the night, and I think we're gonna have a feast.